I'm with TriNet. We're an outsourced HR company that specializes in helping small and mid-sized businesses in the United States. Today's, we've got probably about 5 or 6 slides here to talk about. I wanted to kind of open up before I get started and to maybe get a better understanding of what you folks might want to uncover or talk about, because as you are in a different country, you have different laws, different ways of doing business than we have set up here in the U.S. So I'd like to open that up if anyone has anything particular. I know Mitra talked about perhaps payroll or learning how to attract talent when you're trying to bring people over from perhaps larger companies, things like that. Is there anything else that anyone else would like to talk about? Okay. Yep. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Very good. Perfect. I can address that. All right. Where's my clicker? So at TriNet, we're very inspired with how small businesses are changing and improving the world. These companies are the change agents that are improving our personal and professional lives. 2/3 of the new jobs created out there are from small businesses. Um, 99% of all the businesses out there are small businesses. And from a patent perspective, these small businesses have 16 times more patents per employee than large companies do. So it's very inspiring. As you've been here learning about the technology here in the Bay Area, I'm sure you've been learning a lot about some of the innovative ways that companies are coming on board. Uh, U.S. Yeah, across the whole country. Yeah, thank you. So all these companies face challenges as they try to execute their vision. The small businesses are no different. One thing that we're noticing is an increasing amount of HR challenges, human resource challenges, things like the Affordable Care Act or ACA, and keeping up to date with those policies, and making sure that health plans are compliant, classifying part-time workers, complying with the difference in minimum wage laws by state. Each state in the United States has different laws around that. Best practices for offer letters when you're looking to bring on new folks. Large companies typically have that financial backing, and they certainly have the personnel to be able to manage that in-house. But often small businesses do not have this luxury. So because of this, we feel that an increasing amount of HR challenges facing small businesses can skew the time away from focusing on their core vision. So that's where TriNet comes in. TriNet's a strategic partner with SMBs, the small to mid-sized businesses, for HR, payroll, employee benefits, employment law compliance, and risk mitigation. Strategic small to mid-sized businesses. That SMB is the acronym for small to mid-sized businesses. Let's see. Our focus is on these important HR. The the focus is on these important HR tasks that don't magically go away. They're always around. They're getting more complex. The penalties are getting more severe. And we handle them with our clients in turn, allowing our clients to get that time back to focus on executing their vision. A little background on who TriNet is. We've been in business for 26 years. We have over 9,000 clients. That is representing over 240,000 employees. And in 2016, we're processing over 17 billion in payroll. And we leverage the best-in-class with our cloud platform. And in 2014 March, we went public on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol of TNET. So what we do for our clients is we deliver a bundled solution. So the bundle includes payroll, healthcare benefits, and compliance management, a dedicated team of HR professionals, and this is all, again, delivered on our cloud-based platform. One simple solution eliminates the hassles of working with multiple vendors. We eliminate the challenge of using various unintegrated systems. For TriNet, we would see companies using one system for payroll, using a broker for benefits, a different broker for workers' compensation, and then they wouldn't have a common software system to integrate all the data. So you'd have that disparate systems that would not be talking to each other. So we are one strategic partner for, and we are in essence the HR department for the. Yes. Yes. Yes, that's a great question. So no, that would be a large enterprise type company. Our clients, we've had clients sign up with one employee, and then we've had companies like Living Social. Are you familiar with Living Social? They are a company here in the Bay Area that offers discount packages to various products and services throughout the country, and they were with us with over 2,000 employees. So that's probably the higher range of a company being on board with TriNet, because at that point the economies just probably make more sense to bring it in-house. Yeah. Yes. Typically, yes. Yes. If we did have a company that was 3,000 people and they really wanted us to take on the HR component of it, we'd absolutely talk to them. But from what the cost is, it ends up making more sense to bring it in-house. Okay? Does that make sense? Yep. So in addition to the core services of the payroll benefits, risk and compliance, and the HR team that I mentioned that come with our bundled HR solution, we also offer these additional cloud products through the platform. Products like Expense, which has won app awards for cloud apps expenses. So this is where you can that help companies with expense reimbursements and expense management. Another one is TriNet Travel, which allows you to represent companies' travel policy when you have employees booking travel, that type of thing. You can have pre-built rules within that application, so when they go and book their flight or their travel, they get flagged or alerted that they're out of compliance if you have certain laws and regulations set up. TriNet Perform, I think we were talking about training. Were you talking about training? Yeah. So TriNet Perform, we offer online training courses. I think there's some 360 different courses available to keep employees up to date on various standards. If they're looking to move into management, courses that take them that way. Things around really just employee enhancement training modules. Those are all available. Time and attendance, which is basically like a time card. That's all integrated into the payroll and the online platform. And then here's the TriNet Learn. So you've got the Learn, which is the 500 courses, and then you have performance management, where it could be specific performance enhancing courses or trainings that can help managers or executives better lead their companies. Yeah. So Marketplace is a place where we promote their goods and services, and so we have partners that we put. So think of like Apple. We offer Apple products through our own marketplace at discounted prices, and then our clients can also come onto Marketplace and offer their goods and services to the entire 240,000 employees. So it's a private marketplace that our clients can take advantage of, both buying and offering their goods and services. So we deliver our bundled HR solution through our model known as a professional employer organization. And this is often referred to in the United States by the acronym PEO. So a PEO is a co-employment model. Would it be better just to ditch the acronym and say it out? Is that better? Okay. So a professional employment organization in which your employees work for your company, but they also become employees of TriNet. So from a brand perspective, from a business direction perspective, from a cultural identity perspective, they absolutely would say that they work for you. From a legal and an employee of record perspective, they work for TriNet. And so that model, what does that mean for you? What does that model do for you? It has some benefits. So one, it gives TriNet quite a bit of scale to, in turn, where we're able to pass on the great deal of benefits to our clients. So what's an example of that? So an example is, as I mentioned, we had over 240,000 employees under our platform, and now we take that economies of scale and go to the health carriers. So the Blue Shield, Kaisers, these big national carriers that are offering health care and saying, we've got 240,000 employees, give us the best benefits that you can. So we get great rates like you would get at Google, as an example, or Oracle, or something like that. And we transfer that, pass that on to these small businesses where they would not have that buying power to be able to get that. So when you're talking recruiting for these small businesses, now that is a key component, because Now you can attract some of that top talent from a Google because now it's apples to apples. Where before they were a large company, maybe considered a in the work in that company, where now they move over to a smaller company. There's more risk, but they might have more input business, and thus you can pass on those great benefits. So healthcare benefits, 401k plan. Question? Oh, uh, mm-hmm. So this is one of the ways. So with good benefits, and as the employees start to have families, kids, the health care part becomes really important. Um, Sometimes they can no longer afford to be with a small company because they don't have those types of benefits where their family is becoming their number one priority. So they have to go over to a large company and have less input into the company, if you will. So the other buying power that we bring is things like 401k plans, commuter benefits, things like taking the train, BART, which is our location, but nationwide, all the local commuter benefits, we offer that on pre-tax dollars. And when we are working with our partner vendors for these areas, to them we look like a large employer. So we're passing on these benefits onto these small companies where they wouldn't be able to as a standalone small business. The second thing that TriNet does and brings to the table with this model is that we have skin in the game. Things like, so being an employer of record, skin in the game? Yeah. So we're responsible. We take ownership of things like legal cases. So when you think of compliance and legal issues, there's things like a wrongful termination suit, there's sexual harassment, there's age discrimination. We have expertise in all these areas and have dedicated legal teams within our company that will be there with you if these events should happen to come up. And so we're right there, hand in hand, working with you on those issues that typically never lead to a litigation. So as I said at the beginning of the presentation at TriNet, we are truly inspired by these small and mid-sized businesses. We think they're doing great things. And with taking this HR areas that companies have to have and taking it off their plate, we're allowing them to focus on their core business and running their business. We're taking the time away from them being inundated with HR related issues, and we take on the responsibility for that. Some of the clients that I might want to mention, companies like Snapchat down in Southern California. They are a client of ours, and they recently turned down a $3 billion offer from Facebook. On the flip side, we had a company called WhatsApp, who is international video, kind of like Skype, but who was acquired for I think 16 billion by Facebook. So both of those happen to be our clients. I can't guarantee that your companies will get $16 billion in an offer, but it's just showing that the type of ability you have when you take the HR burden off of their plates. So that's essentially it. To any questions that you guys might have? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, um, yeah, as I said, I'm actually new to the industry. Um, I think it's a fantastic value. It really makes sense to me. I'm not that smart of a guy, but I think when you start to think about, okay, well, we take on the risk, we make sure all your employees are paid in full and on time, and we pass on these great benefits that you would not be able to get at below market rates. So, all on a cloud-based platform. So, all the employees, they can go on, get access to their with through their own portal, sign things up like direct, sign up for commuter benefits, pick their um, sign up for 401k, all those types of things that are all HR related, all through one system. Hmm. Because more than likely they are not an HR doing a widget, right? They created something and they're trying to grow that business. It it it's both. It's both. So depending on the size of the company, and when I say size, I'm talking about number of employees. Okay. Um, yeah. Or you can do HR, but you might not. Something might get missed. Something like, and you can't keep on top of it. Yep. Yep. Hmm. Hmm. Yes, and that is true. As I said, if the company is large enough, uh, I mean, pick a number of employees that 500. Let's say it's 500 employees. They may very well be able to have an HR department. We're not discounting that. When you have these small companies, let's say below 500, all right, and especially if they're in multi-states, when they get bigger, they're expanding, so they're across the country. So those are all different laws within those states, and to keep track of all the laws that are constantly changing, it just yes, you can still do it in house, but with everything that we offer in one solution, it's an easier thing to manage because now we're one single vendor. You're not working with multiple vendors, so that alone is easier to manage. The economies of scale, so the healthcare benefits, we typically more often than not are be able to go and get rich healthcare plans to offer these employees to give them a choice. Um, Sometimes when you have an HR department and how they are working with a broker, you might come into that company and say, I only have maybe three different healthcare plans. Where when you come with us, in California alone, we offer 11 different plans. So, depending on what your specific need is as an individual, family, single, your unmarried kids, wherever that is, you can now choose the best fit for your healthcare plans for you and your potential family. So with the laws and the rules and regulations and laws changing from a not only from a state perspective but a multi-state perspective constantly, it becomes very challenging to stay on top of. I was talking to a client the other day, and they are paying all their employees at they have a monthly payroll. They're paying all their employees on the 30th of the month. And that's illegal. There's an example right there. So they've been doing that for however long they've been doing it. And it's funny because they have a payroll provider, a very large nationally named payroll provider that was taking care of their payroll. They're aware of the laws, but how come they didn't inform them? We work primarily with companies in the U.S. and Canada. If we have international companies that are looking to come into the United States, then we'll work with those companies and help manage the U.S. operations, which again, that's even more work with a company like TriNet because managing it overseas, I can't even imagine what that would be. But yeah, so we don't really offer these services in other countries. We have possible partners that could provide these types of services, but usually their clients have U.S. operations. So so we provide the U.S. presence, the services for the U.S. operations, and one of our partner companies, as long as they do have a U.S. operations and they have an international offices, they can work with those clients. That'd be great. Over 9,000. Pretty close. I mean, I don't know exactly what the healthcare benefits say at a Google or General Motors, something like that, but those are when you start to or IBM. I mean, those are companies that are truly the size of all of our clients. Um, Maybe not Google, but GM or IBM, um, international organization. But for these smaller companies, I'm pretty confident that no one can touch us with the benefits that we offer down to our clients. Requirements? Oh, pre. So typically, when a company wants to, let's say, they are in the United States and they want to work with TriNet, and they see the value and they're on board. So we have a flat monthly fee. We have a nominal setup fee, and that's basically it. The other requirement is basically a credit check, because now as a co-employment model, and we're taking care of the payroll, we want to make sure that they obviously have the funds to pay a normal payroll. So that it's minimum requirements. Um, yeah, that's the only prerequisite I can think of. And again, being in the United States. Yeah. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So, like a construction company, let's say, okay? So that's a high risk type of company. So our typical clients at TriNet, we have various uh, sister companies within TriNet, but where we typically focus is technology, financial, professional services, uh, architectural and engineering, professional services, mostly professional services. Then we have another company within TriNet that is called SOI. Now they work with what we call blue collar, gray collar. I'm not familiar with that term, but blue collar, gray collar are the construction companies, folks that are not office based. Okay, they're not typing on a computer all the time. They're out in the field doing that kind of thing, and so they would work with those types of vertical companies. If I would come across a construction company, I couldn't work with it. So we try to keep our risk pool in line, which holds down our year over year increases. So the ACA, all these healthcare benefits that happen every single year, they have a renewal. And so if there is a high usage, companies may get hit with a very renewal rate, where ours as a client, we keep below the national average because of that verticalization. Does that make sense? Yeah. Any other questions? Uh, I would need to get on the web. I need to get on the internet. I'm not hooked up right now. Yeah. Okay, let's see. It's oh, SVIC. Yep. Mm-hmm. Russian vodka. Nice. All right. So this is the portal where everyone would come in. Any individual employee, any client would come in here. They'd put in their in my case, I'm putting in my social security number. This is not the demo version. This is my own portal. All right, so it's loading up. So right here, when you log on, you'll get important notices. If there's something that you need, like I just got an email the other day that I had to look at the our ethics compliance. So I had to go through. There was a little tutorial just to make sure that, and as an individual, they know which employees have taken this requirement to review that specific task on ethics. So when I log in here, I know I need to, there's scheduled maintenance here. Here's legal notices. There talks about some changes that they've made, but right here is all, this is my own view. I'm not an administrator. I'm not an executive where I would have maybe some additional choices here up at the top. But as you can see, so myself, you can go through, you're logging all your personal data, uh, the emergency contact. You can go into forms, talk about tax withholdings, sign up for flexible spending accounts. Here's all the benefits summaries. Here's my payroll schedule, direct deposit. I can sign up for direct deposit. I did all this. I signed up for direct deposit, signed up everything on my first day of employment. Went right in. I didn't have to talk to anyone, just went right in. Very self-service, very easy, very intuitive. And then we can go here to those things that we were talking about before, the cloud options here, travel, marketplace, learn. I can request time off. So time off, that automatically gets sent to my manager. And then the manager can view in that. And so if you think about it from a management perspective, if everyone's asking time off for the exact same time, now you can start to say, yes, you can have the time. No, you can't. We need people working here. We can't all take the time off at the exact same time, as an example. Commuter benefits, 401k. If there's questions that I am not aware of, we have a dedicated team 24 hours a day to help answer any questions about healthcare, about anything HR related. The other thing about working with TriNet, so one of the big health carriers in California is Blue Shield, and we now have concierge service working with Blue Shield, and they have a dedicated representative or representatives working for TriNet. So all of our TriNet clients go right in and have that personal service. So things like that really start to add more and more value to work with us. This is interesting. I can't show this right now, but from a CFO perspective, who wants to crunch the numbers, you can there's all sorts of pre-built reports that can take by department, by payroll, what's it costing per department, what has been the accumulated time off, what is the average salary within those departments, a whole host of reports that a CFO would love. And it's all at their fingertips, all right here, right from the portal, taking it from the payroll and salaries, encompassing it into one solution. The other thing about recruiting, and the other tool that we have. Yeah. What's that? New hire? Yeah. So new hire orientation. I can go right to that button, get oriented on how to use the system. Going. Yes. Yeah. So recruiting. One of the things that we provide is that, let's say you are looking for an engineer in New York. I have no idea what an engineer gets paid in New York. Okay, we're in California. I don't know what the salary is, the average salary is. So you can pull in by location, by responsibility, and get that range of salary requirements. So if you want to be aggressive on your offering, or if you want to be right in the middle, and then from a geographical, you have that knowledge to be able to go and recruit properly. So The training would come with that performance management and TriNet Learn. So, as an example, let's say I was a manager. It might be on. Uh, there might be a course on managing your team more effectively. How to handle disgruntled employees. Um, Making sure that you are operating your team in a compliant level. Things like that, going through little online courses so you understand, am I being compliant? Am I doing the right things here? So it's that self-service courses that you can sign up for. I can't show you anything right now, but yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, I think I have maybe just enough. 5 I got. So let's see what else. My company, things like employee handbook. We help write the employee handbook. Um, Lots of companies come to find out they don't even have an employee handbook. That's something that is out of compliance. Um, Things like your company holiday schedule, looking at any legal notices, additional policies. Everything is all again under one portal, so you can get everything HR based upon um, your needs as it relates to that under one location. Company directory, I can look up people by department, by location. Here's HR support, service. I can open up a case. Let's say I was just sexually harassed. Now I can open up a case, and it gets sent up through the ranks, and so everything's very automated, um, self-service. Yeah. There we on our website we do have videos of clients talking about how they've benefited from using TriNet, so those are on there. Um, I don't know if there's really a demo on how to use HR Passport, which is the portal that we're on right now. Yeah, I think I can give that presentation to you. Yeah. And if I can't give this exact one, I'll give one that is as close as I can get for the public. I'm just not sure if that one is meant for to be distributed to the public or if it's meant for internal use only. Yeah. Let's see what else. What's that? Support? Yeah. Oh, I can't. Right now, I don't really need any HR support. I don't think. Oh, sharing it. Oh, okay. Hmm. Yes. Yeah, I was trying to think about that because I'm former military as well. I used to jump. I was in the 82nd Airborne, jumping on a planes, Army. Yeah. So we didn't have to worry about healthcare benefits because they're already provided. So I don't know what you are set up with as it stands today. So things like the benefits from a U.S. perspective, there were nothing. We as an active service member, we can just go right to the hospital that's on post and just walk right in and get the coverage that we require. Um, I'm not sure how it works in the Chilean Air Force. As healthcare coverage, yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, okay. Benefit. They don't have the coverage. Yeah. Hmm. It could be. Yeah. Yeah. So for us, when it comes to the small and mid-sized business market in the United States, they have to run payroll. So that's a vendor. They have to offer healthcare. That's a broker using a broker. They have to offer workers' comp, and there has to be some level of human resources. So with that sort of spread apart, when you're thinking multi-vendor, this is a bundled solution. So we become essentially our own broker, where we're going to write to the carriers and then passing on the benefits. That's the niche that we're trying to fill. I would need to know more about. I think you're onto something maybe with the civilians that are working um, it, on it for the Air Force. I think that might be something, um, but I don't know what they're challenged with. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. Oh, uh, well, I think so the company's been around for 26 years, and so this model, the co-employment model, has been around for at least 26 years. I can't say if we were the first ones, but I gotta believe we must be doing something right where we've been around for 26 years. I know, at being in this industry, um, 400 other companies like this, but we're one of the largest. Other companies like this may be more regional, not nationwide. Model, I was not that familiar with it, to be honest. But as I started to do my research, it's like, wow, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, these small companies, they don't know anything about HR. They don't want to do HR, and they need our services. So I think it's a great value add to these small companies that are trying to really build something and create something from their ideas and achieve their goals. So So I'm hoping that we can continue to grow the company. So anything else? Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time.